sponsored by Homeland Bank. And now, exclusive Storm Tracker Doppler weather with meteorologist Chase Ward.
We are tracking a few hit or miss showers popping up across the ArkLaTex. It's kind of out ahead of a frontal boundary, and they're staying mainly isolated in nature, but we can start to see them become a bit more scattered and then widespread for later on this evening as the frontal boundary begins to draw closer. However, no complaints really. We could definitely use some of this rainfall. Here's a look at the Doppler radar at 5:48, and most of it has weakened a little bit. We had one thunderstorm popped up just to the east of Monroe along I-20 in Ouachita Parish. Currently still moving to the northeast, so it's still producing a little bit of rainfall. We also have some activity popping up just to the south of Columbia in Caldwell Parish, and also some little activity. Actually, was a thunderstorm near Bastrop, but that's already beginning to fizzle out a little bit, and that's really all we got for the ArkLaTex as of right now. We do have a cold front pushing in out of the northwest, and as it moves in, we'll start to see a bit more spark up in activity. Right now, we're starting off mainly lower 80s. Some places are in the upper 70s, 77 El Dorado, 79 in Camden, 82 Monroe, and 81 degrees over in Ruston. Dew points, no change there. It's dew point 80, it's actually 80 degrees. So yeah, it's a very moist environment. Hasn't been a lot of change with that, but we might see a change in our weather pattern as we see that front approach and go into this weekend. Of course, forecast highs will be kind of tricky as far as the timing and arrival of these storms, because when it comes in around 1 or 2 o'clock, the earlier it gets in, you can notice how heat index values start to change by 3 and 4 o'clock. That's just taking into account the storms that roll in. We'll pick up on some rain cool air. We still got some heat evasion effect for some of our parishes lying east of 165 and also in southeast Arkansas, because the heat indexes still get near 105 degrees, but of course that may actually get canceled depending on when these storms get here. So for your morning forecast, probably best do it early this morning, because by this afternoon that's when we're going to see a bit more scattered activity. And then for Saturday through Sunday, that frontal boundary is going to linger out a little bit, and we're still going to see more of an unsettled pattern that will stay with us through the start of next week, through potentially next Monday and Tuesday. So looking at future tracker, notice the frontal boundary, it'll move across today. We'll pick up on some beneficial rainfall. Winds kind of start shifting a little bit more northerly behind the front. We'll have high pressure settle in further to the north, but it's going to not really move south at all. The boundary layer kind of just stalls out across ArkLaTex. Even as we go into next Sunday, notice it's still kind of hanging out a little bit for some of our southern parishes. So it kind of helps keep rain chances on the board going through the early parts of next week. So definitely keep the umbrella and rain jacket handy for 7, 8 o'clock tonight if you've got to be out and about. More widespread activity lying south of I-20 for later on tonight, and then through early tomorrow could have a few lingering showers, but mostly tomorrow that boundary layer is going to be further south. Winds will be mostly northerly, trying to help us out a little bit with these temperatures. We'll have some cloud cover. Dew points probably won't be changing that much in the short term or even long term. Looking at future tracker as far as rainfall totals, mostly up to 1/4, maybe 1/2 inch, but of course anything we get would no doubt be beneficial. Now tracking Hurricane Beryl, currently moving along the Yucatan Peninsula. It has dropped down to a Category 2 hurricane with max winds 110 miles per hour. Expected to move further to the north and kind of make a northerly trend towards the Rio Grande Valley of Texas, Mexico, and could re-strengthen back up as it moves across the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Not likely to have any direct impacts with the ArkLaTex, but as it does take a northerly track, we might be on the outer fringe of it, might see some tropical moisture flow in, and might see some light showers as a result. But how 95 degrees for this afternoon, top will fall to the lower mid-70s with showers continuing and then staying unsettled through the start of next week. But at least we get a break from the heat. We fall to lower 90s and could see upper 80s by next Thursday. So that's right back watching NBC 10 News Today.